going to share a slightly different version of it today. You might be surprised to learn what is made right here in Queensland and exported to the world. Some think that the manufacturing sector is non-existent in this state, but that is certainly not the case. If you get out into the fields and the back suburbs, you find a lot of things that are made here that are actually exported all around the world. As part of looking at exactly what is made in regional Queensland, Mark Jeffrey is at a factory in Townsville. It makes large-scale industrial equipment and exports it to every continent in the world.
We're at another big shed. This is probably one of the biggest sheds that I've been to as a part of Made in Queensland, because what's made out here at TEI, stands for Townsville Engineering Industries, is an incredible array of products and pretty huge. It's been going for about 50 years. Let's step inside to the conference room and we'll meet Richard Parker. Richard Parker is the General Manager out here at TEI. Richard, can you just give us a brief thumbnail overview of what's happened in the 50 years since this not so humble manufacturing and engineering business has been running?
It was started up by a man called Tony Rock. We started doing sugar wagons in the mid-70s. We started on our trommels in the mid-80s. We even had to go at cane harvesters. We started exporting to Africa in 2001. We did a big bridge over the Georgina River at Camberwell back in 2002.
Sure, I've driven over that a few times.
We've done some precision bearing tracks for NASA on their deep space radio telescopes. 2 went to Timbimilla near Canberra and 1 went to Goldstone in California. We've done a lot of ship loader work for the coal terminals around the place. Many reservoirs around Townsville, Mount Isa and even one on Palm Island.
Well, it's been going 50 years, turned 50 this year, as did you, and as I may or may not have as well. Well, let's head out into the factory and just find out exactly how it's done. Lots of bangs and crashes. That's what we like to hear, particularly when we're on site of a very big manufacturing facility. Can you tell us what we make in just another one of these huge sheds that we find in Queensland?
We specialise in making almost anything out of steel. We've got a product line in rotating screens, or we call them trommels, that we export all over the world. We make tanks. At the moment on the plasma cutter here, we can see we're cutting liner plates for chutes. Pretty much anything that you want made out of steel, we can build it.
What are they doing right here in front of us, did you say?
So that's a computer-controlled plasma machine. So that cuts, that's 25mm steel. That's quench and tempered steel at Brunel hardness of 500. We weld studs onto that. I'll show you that in a minute. And they put them inside chutes so that the chute doesn't wear away. That's a sacrificial liner.
So essentially these are big, thick square metal plates that go inside other machinery.
Yes, that's correct.
So your big thing, you make what you call trommels. So they're huge, big, rotating steel mesh trams. Is that right?
Yes, essentially that's what they are. So everything that the miner digs up, he puts through a mill to grind it to a size that he can then liberate the zinc or the gold or whatever it is he wants for his process. It goes through the screen, some passes through into the process, and the rest goes screened off and gets recirculated through the process.
So used for mining operations, all sorts of other type of mills, and from here in your humble little, well, it's not so humble, it's a bloody big shed you export all around the world.
It was interesting. We were building trommels for Kidston Gold Mine, and when it closed down, the mill went over to Africa, and all of a sudden we got an inquiry from the middle of Tanzania for a trommel. Came out on the fax machine, as it was in those days, and we've never looked back really. We've increased our supply into Africa. We also supply into PNG. We've supplied one into New Zealand, one gone up into Kazakhstan. Some in Spain. It's just a little niche that we found.
Well, that's just about every continent except for the Americas, perhaps.
Yeah, I think we've got one gone into Central America, and we're targeting South America because that's hard rock mining areas as well.
Well, you are working all over the world with what you're sending out. They're making a little bit of noise over here. Let's wander through and see what else you make at this huge factory at TEI in Townsville. It's a business that's been going 50 years. It's all a part of Made in Queensland this afternoon. Oh, here we are looking at one of these big trommels, you call it, which basically they're big round drums with mesh in it. How big would this be, Richard?
Oh, that's probably 2.5 metres long by a couple of metre diameter. that's a fairly normal size one. That one's actually going to Egypt, where they've been mining gold for thousands of years. It's a gold mine.
And they have like a screw sort of inside that helps move the material through it. Is that right?
Yeah, they've got what we call a spiral, like a pitch on a screw, and it helps move the material through.
Well, they're putting the finishing touches on that. You can feel the heat from the some sort of welder as they're getting ready to send that off to Egypt. And we've got much bigger ones over here. Is that right?
Yeah, this one's going to Zambia. It's one of an order of 4, so there's red ones out the back there ready to go. This one's 5.4 metre diameter by 5.4 metres long. It's the biggest one we've ever done. It's all our design. We had to do finite element analysis on it to prove the design before they put it on their mill over in Zambia.
And this one's so big, you've actually got blokes standing up inside it. You've even got a forklift in there as well, as people once again sort of put the finishing touches on what they look like the inside screw there.
Yes, so they're welding out the spiral.
And you can smell the ozone and the oxy torches coming off. It certainly is all happening. Now out here, Richard, we've got a half-size one. You mentioned this is the red one. This one's a little bit prettier, and you've managed to go and put some coating on this one. What's this do?
They bolt together. That's one trommel.
Okay, and that's it.
They're in quarters.
Well, we can also see some that...
That one goes on top. Well, that one goes on top of that one, and it bolts together. It's too large to ship in one piece.
Oh, wow. So what we're seeing here is two halves of one. So when they're finished up, what will they be? Probably about 6 or 7 or 8 metres in length.
Oh, yeah, 5.4 diameter, 5.4 long.
How do you get them out of here? You ship them out by boat?
They'll go down to Brisbane and onto a boat. Takes 2 trucks to move them, so 2 quarters per truck. And we've got, one complete here, one complete down on the paint line, and 2 that we're working on.
The paint line, that's in the big shed across here, is it?
Yes.
Well, let's head across and see where they're painted. We've got a semi-trailer there waiting to take, a half of one you were saying that they're that big.
Yeah, you need 2 trucks to move 1 trommel.
And here's some of the other ones that are finished and painted that are cut in half, ready to assemble together. The business has been going for 50 years, exports to just about every continent in the world. How many staff do you employ out here, Richard, at the TEI Steelworks? Well, it's more than steelworks, it's really a big, great factory.
We've got about 40 guys, generally. When we got really busy a few years ago, in the middle of the boom, we had about 80. The shed's big enough to have 80. I should have 80 people in it. It's just a matter of getting enough orders. Difficult in this day and age. We're competing against imports, of course, but we'll try and keep things positive.
Well, we've got the smell of paint here. Reminds me when I used to paint model aeroplanes when I was a kid, except for this is on a much larger scale. What are we looking at here that's being coated at the moment?
So these are chutes that are going up to Weipa, the Amrun aluminium project up there. These are going to get tiled with a ceramic tile. We're just finishing off painting them and getting them ready for the tilers to come in.
So they're waiting on your mini railway, and beyond those closed doors, is that the great big paint shop room, is it? Or do you paint them right here?
No, we paint them in this shed, and we blast them. Behind those doors is a blast chamber. We use steel grit that recovers through a waffle floor and recirculates.
Looks like a bloke there in his high vis with a bit of equipment slung over his shoulder, about to head into the blast chamber again.
That's his blast helmet. You put a helmet on and you get nice, fresh, clean air come through the compressor. Not the best job on a hot day, but someone's got to do it.
Well, there you go, another large-scale industrial plant based in Queensland that's making product and exporting it to the world. It's all a part of being made right here in Queensland.
Thank you, Mark Jeffrey, in a very big shed for us, just outside of Townsville. 11 to 6 the time.